What's good, YouTube? This is Jason of Auglitical. I swim through the politics so you don't drown too. I'm just a man trying to bring common sense in a world where common sense isn't so common. It seems as though more and more people are starting to feel the effects of the shit that they voted in. And once you vote this shit in, you can't really vote yourself out because the people who you voted in is going to make sure damn well to they're not going to go quietly and peacefully. They're going to go clawing and scratching. So all of this stuff that you're trying to do, be empathetic, be soft, be guiding, be, helpful to these people who they don't give a shit about any of that stuff that you're doing. You're just useful suckers to them. So right now in New York City, you got people really upset that there's a migrant shelter that's open. And let's get into it. I don't want to yap your goddamn heads off.
Some here are frightened now just to go outside.
Now it feels like that whole section
we're doing that, and that's what
is just not available to the community
asking our local elected
anymore.
So
our parks are not available to
can't go there
anymore.
Search out and give us a list of all of the empty lots that there are.
Migrants from a 4,000-bed shelter nearby fill the sidewalks. They sit on park benches, on stoops and curbs, under the BQE overpass. So many people crowded in here, residents feared what was coming.
We have been witnessing the escalation in violence on the street and in the community for months now.
We've been pleading with the mayor, as we've seen increased violence, that this was going to be inevitable.
Well, what the fuck did you expect? They're importing the third world. What do you think happens when they import the third world? Don't get me wrong. You have a lot of people that sit there and they get mad when someone like myself or somebody who's elected to use their eyes and their brain, they get upset at when we see these things and we call out what we see and we just use common sense. What do you think is going to happen? The United States is the standard. We may not be the best in everything, but we are the gold standard. So what do you think happens when you have people coming here who don't want to even try to fit that standard? The standard, the bar gets lower and lower, and it gets more and more dangerous. I've said it time and time again. I've been blowing the whistle on this thing for a while because I myself have been fucking elbow and elbow with these fucking people in the New York City shelter system for quite some time in the past. I've seen the shelter system before it got this bad with the illegals. I've seen the shelter system when it's extremely as bad with the illegals. These people are not compatible with the West. Not all of them, but overwhelmingly, they're not compatible. And what do you think that these people who don't want anything to do with the American way, because just like how you saw that woman sitting there talking about the community, now it's not the black community, it's the community. So what you mean is it's not available to Americans, not illegals, to the citizens of the United States. That's what you really want to say, or that's what you're looking for to say. And you're absolutely right. 4,000 fucking random ass people who don't belong in your community. And mind you, that's only one shelter. So imagine any other places that they're trying to put up in your neighborhood, right? The DNA of New York City is being completely overwritten. And the last video I did when I was saying new blacks coming to a city near you, this was always the plan. This was always the fucking plan. The plan was to get these people in, get them citizenship, and have them voting. Why do they need your votes anymore? They don't need the black vote. They don't need the Spanish vote. The white girls who, oh, I don't know much about anything, but I think that we just need to be kind and tolerable. And yes, we need to let those MS-13 and those Venezuelan gangs and those Haitian violent criminals, we need to let them all in unvetted because that's the right thing to do. They're not going to need Becky's vote anymore. Why would they need it in New York City? And here's the funny thing. 97% of the people in this area voted for these policies.
And on Sunday night, it came. 2 people were murdered here, a third critically injured just outside one of the 2 adjacent shelters in Clinton Hill. It is a neighborhood now, pleading for help. Residents came together tonight to demand the city provide more protection for them now and move to downsize the 2 enormous and crowded migrant shelters in Clinton Hill.
There is simply no universe where you can cram 4,000 vulnerable people together safely. Do you believe us now? How many more murders will it take?
This video is responsible for the 2 Sunday night murders. In the video, he appears to be putting a gun in his waistband. The mayor today didn't offer.
It's the funniest thing in the world too, right? Because they come here, they don't give two shits about the American way. They don't give a shit about assimilating, but they come here for the quality of things that we have. So they'll dress a certain way, they'll get fly clothes, they'll get new phones, they'll get all of that shit. But when it comes to a job, when it comes to working and trying to get the shit for yourself, they're not trying to hear none of that. And guess what? The ones like Mayor Adams, these fucking puppets, Kamala Harris, all of this shit, Joe Biden, all of these people, they're the ones that you should be looking towards because those are the ones that push this shit forward. We can't help these people. I don't know why is it so hard to get through your fucking heads? These people cannot be helped.
For much hope.
I'm not going to mince my words. These people don't want the fucking help. They're coming here because they're getting the benefits from here. And you know what? If you go across the pond, certain places, these people are tired of these things showing up because it's a global effort to ruin everywhere in the world. So right now, you got the citizens so pissed off, they're setting fire to these migrants, these migrant camps. They don't want them there. Go back to your own fucking country. Go back to your own country. Simply put, you're not going to fight for your country. Why ruin ours? And again, it's not the ones that are coming here legally. Those people are fine. It's not the ones that are willing to put in the work. Those are fine. I'm talking about the ones that have cases of domestic violence, cases of being related to gangs, cases of violent crimes and all of this shit, and they're being released into the street, cases of pedophiles and all this other shit. Those people need to go. Strictly, if you're not going to deport them, you publicly execute them. They're not American citizens. They don't deserve the same that American citizens get when it comes down to court. When you are found guilty without a fraction of a doubt, right? When you are found guilty, there is no you take up more taxes being in jail. It needs to be a message. Listen, I hate to be that person to say it, but that's the case. If it is listen, if you take one of ours and you are illegal, you don't got to worry about being deported. You don't. You got an Amazon you got an express Amazon 1 week package to being publicly executed. And that'll send a message to the rest of them.
Saying police are looking at a violent Venezuelan street gang as the people behind the shootings.
How that happened?
Extremely dangerous. We're dealing with violent individuals that are not representative of the overwhelming number of people who are coming here.
Man, shut the fuck up. I hate this dude. I really hate Mayor Adams, yo. He's basically putting out a press statement. It's the same shit that's going on where you're supposed to speak out. You're supposed to have a firm stance about this thing, and here you go, and you don't want to offend the group, though the group is the one that's doing it. It's kind of like right now what's going on YouTube. You have these politically correct, always safe streamers who are disgusting individuals. And whenever anything goes on, they're the first ones to jump in and put in their own 2 cents about something. Well, just recently, there was a person who was super duper duper famous. One of the biggest channels on YouTube, if not the biggest kids channels on YouTube, and he ended up apparently being really inappropriate and sexual towards kids. And yes, he is a trans person. He had a wife and a kid, and then he came out as trans, and a lot of people didn't like that. A year later, come find out a bunch of messages. This person, Chris Tyson or whatever the fuck his name is, he for all we know, we don't know just yet, but he's probably been fucking little boys and all of this shit. And the same usual suspects that always so spoken out, always the loudest, always the most audible, they were completely silent. And then they come out at the same exact time, which is real suspect. They both came out at the same time, Pokimane and Valkyrie. Those are the two girls' names. And they pretty much said, oh, this is terrible. We don't have enough information. However, incels should stop messaging us about this. And the whole LGBT community is now under attack, and this is wrong. It's like you care more about respecting people's pronouns than the fucking crimes and shit that they committed. It's insane. Meanwhile, just like Mayor Adams over here, you got a fucking crime wave. You got Venezuelan gangs in your city. How did that happen? Because you literally sat there and you went along with the agenda that they pushed, and now you have this fucking problem. And again, I keep telling people, American crimes are bad. Imagine what a third world crime is like. Trust me, they ain't even the same. They're not. It's disgusting. It's terrible. Trust me.
As migrant and asylum seekers.
No one has yet been arrested for those murders on Sunday night, and that definitely hasn't made anyone here feel any safer. Police say they know who they're looking for, they just haven't found him yet. In Clinton Hill, Jim Dolan, Channel.
Oh, so what happened? They slipped through the cracks? That's what you're saying? You're saying that you're saying they're homeless. They're homeless and you can't find them? They don't have a home. Or who's hiding them? How can you not find them? So you're saying they have some type of connections? How do they have connections? They're coming here with nothing but the skin, what is it? The clothes on their backs, right? Get the hell out of here. Anyway, I'll catch you guys next time. Peace.